So you're putting in all that time and money for your MBA, right? But here's the big question. Is it really enough to land that dream job, that high-impact career you're after? Today, we're going to look at something that's all about bridging that gap. The one between what you learn in class and what top companies are actually looking for. Let's dig into the Future Risk Leaders program and see how it can give you that crucial edge.
Yeah, this is the question, isn't it? It's probably the one that keeps a lot of you up at night. I mean, you look around and you're surrounded by incredibly smart, driven people. Everyone's got the grades, everyone's got the ambition. So, how do you actually stand out from the crowd? The secret? It's not just about the theory you've learned, it's all about what you can do, like from day one on the job. And let's be real for a second. Here's the hard truth. Employers, they need people who can jump in and start contributing right away. They need people who can hit the ground running. Now, don't get me wrong, your MBA gives you an amazing theoretical foundation. But this program we're talking about, it's built specifically to give you those hands-on, practical skills to tackle real-world challenges from the get-go. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at the big career challenge today. Then, we'll meet the expert guides who'll be leading the way. We'll walk through the path to mastery, see what's in your future-proof toolkit, and finally, how you can launch your career. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, the modern career challenge. So let's talk about that first big hurdle, right? How do you make yourself absolutely indispensable to an employer? Well, it's all about moving past the textbook stuff and getting those practical, job-ready skills that companies are desperately looking for right now. And that's where the Future Risk Leaders Program, or FRLP, comes into the picture. Now think of this less like an add-on to your MBA and more like a career launchpad. It's a totally career-focused experience, and it was designed from the ground up with one goal in mind: to make you 100% job-ready the second you get that diploma. If you really want to learn real-world skills, you can't just learn from a book. You need to learn from people who have actually been there, done that, people who've been in the trenches. So let's meet the industry pros who will be guiding you through this. These folks are the real deal. First, we have Dr. Sanjay Kumar. I mean, just look at this resume. We're talking over 30 years of top-level experience in banking, consulting, you name it. He even won an award for Risk Officer of the Year. This is the kind of person whose expertise can literally change the way you see the entire industry. And then, for the more technical side of things, you get to learn from Mr. Manas Pandey. This guy has more than 25 years under his belt in financial risk and data science. He is the perfect person to guide you through the really advanced stuff, like financial risk management and, of course, AI. All right, you've met the guides. Now, let's get into the curriculum itself, the path to mastery. Think of this as your step-by-step roadmap to gaining the skills that are going to define your career. Step 1 is all about building a strong foundation. You can't build a skyscraper on sand. Every single expert out there starts with the fundamentals. So this first step is focused on creating a rock-solid base in risk management, helping you really understand why it's so critical for any successful business. Okay, once that foundation is solid, we move on to step 2. This is where we go from theory to practice. You'll learn the how companies actually identify, assess, and manage risk out there in the real world, day in and day out. And a huge part of that is this 5-step process. This is basically the playbook for effective risk management. You learn to spot potential risks, figure out how bad they could be, come up with plans to handle them, and then, super importantly, keep an eye on things. It's an incredibly powerful framework that you can use in almost any situation. Step 3. Now we zoom out a bit to look at the bigger picture, corporate governance. See, great risk management doesn't happen in a vacuum. It needs a strong ethical backbone. And that's exactly what corporate governance is. It's understanding the rules and systems that make sure a business runs responsibly. And if you're aiming for leadership, this is non-negotiable. Moving on to step 4, this is where you get to specialize a bit. We're talking about financial risk management, or FRM. If you have any interest at all in banking or finance, this is a huge deal. You'll pick up some seriously in-demand skills in things like market risk, credit risk, and liquidity risk. And finally, step 5 is all about the future. To really lead in this new world, you absolutely have to understand AI. This last module is all about how artificial intelligence is completely changing the game in risk management. This is what makes your skill set future-proof, relevant not just for today, but for years and years to come. All right, so after all that, what do you actually walk away with?
Let's talk about your future-proof toolkit. These are the tangible skills and advantages that are going to make you stand out when you're looking for a job. So what will you gain? Well, you're going to walk away with job-ready skills that are perfectly aligned with what top industries like banking and consulting are looking for. You'll have this powerful foundation in risk, strategy, and governance, plus real exposure to AI-driven decision-making. You'll be able to handle tough, real-world business challenges because you'll have learned how to think strategically, how to think like a leader. And the cool thing is, you can choose your own path. For example, if you see yourself as a strategist, the business strategy and risk module is perfect. It preps you for those big consulting and strategy jobs. But hey, if you're more of a technologist, the AI for Managers module will get you ready for a career in digital transformation. It's all about matching the learning to your goals.
Okay, let's get to the final section, launch your career. This is the destination, right? This is the whole point of the journey. It's where all that hard work you put in really, truly pays off.
And listen, we're not talking about vague, abstract career ideas here. We're talking about specific, high-demand jobs. This program gets you ready for roles like risk analyst, strategy consultant, financial risk manager, compliance specialist. The list goes on. Look, the bottom line is this. In the job market today, an MBA is kind of the price of entry. It's the starting point. If you really want to succeed, you have to differentiate yourself. You have to stand out. And that's what this is all about. Giving you those unique, practical skills that will make employers take notice.
So if you're ready to really take your career to that next level, you should definitely go check out the website to learn more. Head over to training.msrisktech.com. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I wish you all the best on your own career journey.